What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. It's going down, guys. I'm on my way home. I'm about 3 hours from my delivery, and it's going down. I've been talking about all this for a long time, and I got an envelope right here in the seat next to me containing a shitload of $20 bills. So here's the deal. So I talked a lot about a cargo trailer, about shifting the plan to a cargo trailer. And I had some concerns about maybe not having any place to build it. So then I was thinking about the possibility that if things fell through, that I might buy a travel trailer. And after doing research and weighing the advantages and disadvantages in my head, I've gone back to a van. There's just, I can't stand up in it. It's going to cost me a little more to do it that way. But in the end, I think that van life is the way. And, I'm not going to get too deep into it or whatever. I just think that, the ability to park in more places and it's worth it, all right? And some vans I've been looking real intensely, as I've been gearing up for home time here. And some stuff's popped up. And so I spent a bunch of time. I use an online bank. I use Discover as my bank. And so there aren't branches, and I can't just go pull out a bunch of cash. So I spent it's about 45 minutes or an hour on the phone with my bank, trying to figure out how I'm going to get a hold of a big wad of cash. And we ended up figuring out that at first they were telling me they could only bump it up a little bit for me to do it at ATMs. But then when I finally got to what I'm going to call the final boss, the security person or whatever who I had to talk to actually get it done, they were able to go ahead and raise my withdrawal limit on my ATM's card to $6,000, and they set it up to last 3 days. So I've been just going to ATMs and withdrawing cash, and I found a couple that let me pull out a bunch. So I was able to pull out $5,000. So I'm looking, there's a couple of different vans that I've been looking at. Neither one of them are cargo vans. They're both like conversion style vans. And although they're not extended and they don't have just metal walls, there's going to be some more work involved with like gutting the inside of the back of them and stuff like that. I'm going to be able to get a deal, So one that I was looking at and I was really leaning toward was a white 2002 Chevy, a GMC Savannah. And it had issues with the paint, so it kind of looked shitty. But it had rack on the top of it already, which saves me a little money. And it only had 96,000 miles on it, and they wanted $5,600 for it. And I liked that one because it had less miles on it, and I thought that, maybe I wouldn't have to rebuild a bunch of stuff. But the guy just was not very communicative and did not want to answer any questions, really. I don't think, according to him, the van belonged to his dad, and his dad only really used it for some camping and stuff, and that's why it has so few miles on it. But then, so I found another one, and it's a 2000 Chevy Express. I was trying to lean away from it because it's black, and black attracts the heat from the sun and stuff, but the guy's done a bunch of work to it, and it's had the transmission redone this year. It's got a lot more miles on it. A couple of issues that it has with it is that the AC is going to have to be replaced, and the speedometer is not working. Something that I'm going to have to try to, determine when I get there. I'm going to go see it today. He only wants $4,500 for it. So I'm almost positive I'm going to be able to walk out of there with that van for $4,000. I've already identified a shop out there in Denison to put a new engine in it for about $5,000. So I think that's probably the one I'm going to go with. If everything that he says about it is true when I get there, I'm probably going to buy it. So the white one has rust and stuff, and it's the rusty top and all the paint's peeling off, and yeah, it's got lower miles, and it's got a rack on top of it. But this black one, according to him, has no rust anywhere, inside or out, even on the bottom. It looks nice. The paint is nice. The interior is immaculate, according to him, and it looked pretty good from the pictures, yeah. So here we go, guys. It's going down. I was gonna wait and hold off until the end of the summer, so I'm not sitting on it during the heat and stuff. But if this works out, I think this is the van, all right? Because it's already had the transmission rebuilt, which means once I rebuild the engine, it'll have a new engine and transmission, or rebuilt engine and transmission. I'm going to have some other stuff done while he's in there rebuilding that motor. He's got to pull the motor and send it off to be rebuilt. I'm going to replace some sensors and potentially the alternator and the starter. But he's had the ignition module done, the ignition coil, new battery, a bunch of stuff's been done to this van. He says all the electrical, except for the speedometer, all the electrical stuff works flawless. The speedometer's not working and the dash is not lighting up. Or I don't know if it's just the cluster or the whole dash. If it's the whole dash not lighting up, it could just be a fuse or something. But regardless, that's where I'm at. I'm excited as hell. And my friends have said that I can have the van out there. I'm going to have this guy do the engine rebuild, and I'm going to be able to get them to go pick it up when it's ready and bring it back and have it at their house. And I've already talked to them. This is the people I'm going to party with on Sunday. And I'm going to be out there for a few days, going to the dentist and some other stuff. And I'm hoping I go buy this van today. And I don't have any way to get it all the way to Denison yet. So that's something that's got to be figured out. But, if I have to, I'll take my truck to Irving, to our yard, and Uber over there and pick it up and bring it over there. And then figure it out from there. But hopefully the guy will be okay with me letting it sit there for a few days until I can figure out somebody to help me transport it. I'm excited. And I know I've flip-flopped a lot around back and forth about how I was going to do this, but just to go a little deeper into it, like if I build a cargo trailer or I buy a pre-made trailer, I'm just going to have to do a lot more thinking about where I'm going to park. I'm going to have to undoubtedly pay to park places quite a bit while I'm traveling, and that shit adds up and gets expensive really quick. And with the van, I can just kind of go find a dark street and park over there, or park in a Walmart parking lot, or pretty much anything that's 24 hours you can get away with sneaking in there and parking for a night. And also I'll be able to spend more time in cities. RV parks, if you got to go to RV parks, they're typically out in the boonies. And then I'll also be able to go do some BLM land stuff. And this van sits really low to the ground, so I may end up putting some bigger tires on it and maybe trying to get a little more ground clearance so that if I do want to do some BLM National Forest type stuff, I can get away with it. I'm not going to be doing any off-roading seriously in it, but you know, as long as I can get up and down some trails and stuff, that'd be fine. So yeah, I'm getting excited. You know, this kind of changes a lot of things that I've been researching, and I'm going to have to work with the size that I have on the solar and stuff like that, and work with the smaller amount of space, but I think this is the way to go. And so I will keep you updated. I'll be in for time off until I leave back out next Sunday. So not sure if I'll update before then. I probably won't be able to stand it if I buy the van, and will at least put something up. But yeah, it's going down. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.